Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid, rules could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play it as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's playing out the way that it is, why you're attracting who you're attracting, and what you can do to shape shift the energy. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. Understand that you'll know if you're picked. If I wrote the word winner underneath your comment, then you need to reach out to me through my email, which you'll find in the description box, so we can set up a day and time that works for the both of us. Know that all readings are done live. So even though I'm giving you the link, it's just to help you get on. It's not because it's a private reading. If you want your reading to be private, you can send me your questions the day before. All right, I believe in spiritual law. That's why I do that. It's what's best for everyone involved. You get the free reading. I get to draw attention to the channel, and whoever resonates with your reading gets to apply that information to their life. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. We're going to put that back in because that was like not really a shuffle. It was more of didn't shuffle the cards enough. So what have happened after I shuffled, then maybe, but otherwise, no. All right, let's see. The word of the video is past life. Past life energy. So we know, obviously, that you're dealing with like a past life karmic mate. And I feel like there are a lot of deja vus. I feel like you're connected to someone that is having a lot of deja vus. They're getting really impatient. I feel like the deja vus was that they lost you in a past life, and now it's almost like too much time has gone by and they're realizing you're not coming back. I feel like this person was trying to play the waiting game with you, and the waiting game backfired. And so when you were dealing with this person, let's see what you were dealing with. Well, I mean, I like the impatient because it's like there is a fear. See, the past life shows that there is a spiritual connection through the heart and mind. So this person does have feelings towards you, even though I feel like they acted like they didn't. And now what they're seeing is that so much time has gone by that they wasted, that they're beginning to get really impatient. As the holidays approach, pretty soon the new year will be here, and you will be in a totally new phase of life. And I feel like this person is like knowing that. When you were dealing with them, they didn't want to be accountable for how they treated you. They didn't want to be accountable for, like, again, treating you badly, or again, hold up to your boundaries. They didn't want to be told what to do. There's like this spiritual connection, but they didn't want there to be any commitment. And then what happened is like, I feel like you did put up boundaries, and this person kept trying to, bypass your boundaries, acted like that they didn't exist. And then when you called them out on it, they didn't want to be accountable. I feel like they got triggered. They got triggered. And what you felt like they didn't fully let go of a past partner, that you feel like, oh, you never really closed out your connection with that previous person that you were with. And I feel like this person has a bad way of going back and forth with that person. It's almost like a real love-hate connection. Like the relationship isn't based on anything good, but those people have acquired a lot of resources together. So they might own a house together. They might have children together. Again, the resources. So it's almost like no matter how many times they break up, there's an energy that they always get back together. That, yeah, it's only temporary. Like you don't really feel like. And so there's a sense that this person didn't want to give you a commitment because there was still someone that they didn't really know what they were doing with. And as long as this person keeps that person in their life, they're always going to stay uncertain. It's up to them to let go of that person, and they chose not to. And then when you would call them out on it, they didn't want to be accountable. Again, they wanted to be able to come and go, wanted to have their cake and eat it too. And instead of being honest, they gaslit you. Again, I feel like they stonewalled you. They acted like they didn't really care. They began to talking to a lot of people. They downplayed the connection. They did a lot of things to try to trigger you. And I don't think it worked. And then what happened is it's like they crossed the line and they never apologized. It's like you held them accountable. They were not taking accountability. Instead, they chose to use time and space as a weapon, talk to other people, gaslight you, avoid you, everything to not acknowledge what they did. And you just feel like that they were like disrupting you emotionally, and because psychologically the message was always like, you're not enough. I'm not going to tell you that you're not enough, but through the actions, through not letting go of the previous person, through not knowing what they want, through not investing in you, even though there's this spiritual connection, it's like, you're like, I don't care. Like, there's a spiritual connection in the physical realm. You're not giving me anything. It's like you're playing a lot of games because you want to have your cake and eat it too. And what you're doing is you're gaslighting me to the fact that it's starting to affect me emotionally and mentally. See, this person normally gets people to cave into them when they do that. That's not what happened here. I feel like you broke the connection. You were like, this isn't healthy. You saw it as betrayal. You saw that the person was too prideful. And they just wanted to act like they didn't care. So they kept triggering your abandonment, regardless that there was a very spiritual connection. They wanted you to be obsessed, where I feel like this person was so obsessed about being the winner, being right, that all it really did was create a lot of hostility inside you because they wanted to keep this attachment. It's not like this person has deep love. It's more like it's comfortable, it's what's familiar. It's a lot of toxic energy that this person confuses for love. It's a lot of betrayal and lust that is what this connection has. You know, that it's not a balanced connection, it's an attachment. And you felt like this person was trying to get you to become an attachment where, again, they're not going to give. And that's the problem that they have with the previous person, too. With the previous person, there's a lot of toxic energy because they don't really want to give in to that person either. They're very non-committal. It's just that that previous person knew how to manipulate, knew how to maneuver themselves in to their life. Because I feel like they might have kids together, again, bought a home, have a business, they have stuff together, which meant there was a lot of time given. But it's not love that keeps this couple together. However, again, there is this lust energy, but there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of pain mixed in there. So it's almost like too much of an intense connection to go for long periods of time, because that's what happens when there's a lot of betrayal between two people that still claim to love each other and hold on to each other, even though that the connection stays toxic. No one ever works to fix it. What winds up happening is that the person that's connected to you now will run to somebody else. It's just now they actually built a connection to you because I feel like they thought that you were going to, like, pick up the slack a little bit, meaning, so yeah, when they were on the outs with this previous person, they would run to you. They'd have some passionate moments. And then what happens is that person, that karmic, which we'll call them the karmic, winds up coming back because they don't want to lose this person either. So it's, again, there's a fine line between love and hate. So it's a real toxic connection where both parties are like bound to each other, but more miserably. And then there's lust involved in there. It's mixed in there, which gets a lot of confusion. And so it's almost like your person doesn't really want to be in that type of connection all the time, but they don't want to let go of that connection either. So they need to take breaks. And then when they take breaks and they run to someone else, that's when this person normally comes back. And that's when, again, the person that's connected to you gets weak for them because they have history. So that's what you felt. And you're like, so you want me to form an attachment to you, but what happened was you just got disgusted because you're like, I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not that person. And I feel like this person's ego wanted to see you through how they wanted to see you. And that's what happens when they're holding on to somebody else. Because I also believe the person that they're holding on to knows that they go and stray and knows and they badmouth that person. And so really your person is not a very strong person, especially if they're connected to whatever this trauma bond is, and then uses other people because they don't really want to stay in that connection. Because staying in a connection like that brings your self-esteem down. You're with a person that continually berates you, makes you feel bad, cheats on you, and they both do it to each other. So there's a lot of pent-up anger. There's a lot of resentment there. But then this person thinks that it's okay to go out and meet other people and hook up with those people to help relieve their stress. And this is what they thought that you were going to go for, is only you were like, you're not being clear on the type of relationship. I want to know the type of relationship. I want to know what's going on with that person still in your life. And they didn't want to be accountable. I don't want to fucking answer any of your questions because I don't really know what I'm doing. Because I don't really want to let go of that 100%. I'm hiding how I feel about you from even myself. So again, this is who this person is like, tried to influence your actions. Like, I'm going to act like I don't give a shit. But I'm going to act like I don't give a shit because number one, this karmic is still around and I don't know what I'm doing with them yet. It's like I might not want to be with them. I might want to be with you. I might want to be, but I can't let anybody know. I can't let the karmic think that you're more important. I can't let you think that the karmic is more important or whoever else I'm talking to. I couldn't express all of my feelings for you. So again, they're not going to because you would hold them accountable. Is again, this person doesn't want to go deep. There's a sense that they like to have the upper hand. They're very non-committal. They want to talk to a lot of people. They've learned to live in this dysfunction, having a person that's always there, but not there. Meaning that that karmic is there, but they take breaks, they cheat. There's like an open marriage type deal or some sort of open connection where they're like not 100% letting go of this person. So they're going to sit there and they're going to act like it's all the karmic, but it's not all the karmic. This person doesn't have to do that much with the karmic. They can stay lazy. With you, you're going to require them to, you know, be transparent. You're going to require them to tell you what's going on in the relationship. It's like you're not just going to go along with whatever this person wants to show you. So, of course, they're not going to express all their feelings to you because there's someone else there. And if they really expressed their feelings for you, the relationship would grow. But if they actually told you that, hey, somebody else is there, you're going to leave. So they don't like either one of those answers. So they're not going to give you anything. They're just going to keep you on the hook. You are the love of my life, but I couldn't see it. So this person sees you for everything who you are now. However, they still have the problem of that karmic. And there's a part of them that stays bound to that karmic. You know, it's a very unhealthy relationship. So if they're giving that person energy, what aren't they doing for themselves? because they don't need that karmic there, but the karmic does stuff for them. So it's almost like I didn't see who you were because as long as somebody else is in the picture, they're not going to see who you really are because they're not investing enough time. And that's really what it is. And they know that that's what you know. Like you don't know how to treat me. You don't know how to treat me because you didn't give me the appropriate amount of time or attention because you want to keep someone else in your life. You pretend that you're getting out of a situation. You pretend that that situation's over. I mean, some of you guys, I'm sure, were told that that relationship is over, but the relationship is never really over. It's just temporarily over. Well, both of those people can take little breaks so that they can go back together and hold on to their equity or to like make it look a certain way, but it's not what you think. Clouded vision. Again, recognize and discuss red flags. Again, that's really what it is. That like this person wanted you to have clouded vision, and they certainly had clouded vision about you. They thought that you were going to like go along with it. They thought that they could manipulate it. Why? Because they've been living this way for a long time. So why should you be any different? Hey, but they didn't give you enough time. They never gave you enough time. So now they actually see who you are and they actually love who you are. They respect who you are, but that would require them to raise their energy. And the thing is, your vision is not clouded. You see exactly who they are. It's again, you saw that this could have been a divine union. It was supposed to be a divine union, but being that this person didn't raise their vibration. It's like it still would be a divine union because the universe brought you two together, even if it was for deep healing, where, but this person is not willing to heal, but I feel like you seeing them has healed certain things within inside of you. See, again, silent remnants and uncertainty. Love has a power to rebuild trust. So it's almost like this is the energy that this person holds. Like, do you still love me? I don't know. It's like, I feel like love can heal regardless of what I've done, but it's like you don't trust them. And that's the issue. It's like because you don't trust them, like you're not going to, this person can't rebuild. But there's a part of this person that like hasn't 100% let you go. It's like they haven't laid it to rest, right? They haven't laid it to rest. You've laid it to rest. There's a part of you that's like, I don't really see it because this person let too much stuff out, like you had to read between the lines. And there's, because they're not straightforward, there's always a sense that they're not truthful. And that's why it's again, you're like, you laid this to rest and you actually know that it can't rebuild itself because this person ruined the connection. They ruined the divine connection. They took the innocence, I should say, out of this connection. But it doesn't mean that they still don't feel that connection. They do. They haven't let go. They weren't expecting to fall in love. They're like, that's really what happened. They're like, you're the love of my life. But at the time, I couldn't see it because, hey, I was giving my time and attention to other people. You weren't willing to like, to devalue yourself. Now I'm looking at you and I would actually like to be with a person that doesn't do that. And you're like, but you ruined that connection. This was a divine connection and you devalued it. Again, because you wanted control. It was more about your control than it was about anything else. So even though, we have this timeless connection, you didn't feel the need to commit to me. Again, did not feel the need to commit, not in a hurry to commit. Didn't want to do that. Like where your values and this person's values did not line up. And that's what makes it really not a divine union. Was it a spiritual connection? It was a spiritual connection because it taught you, but only to help you transition, to help you evolve into a more higher state of consciousness. It's again, this person thought wants a union, but it's again, it's that would require them to have equal give and take reciprocity, meaning that they would have had to come in and give you, and you have too much clarity now of what this person will do. Is there's a sense of not being able to unsee what they already showed you. That's pretty much what's happened here. You got to a place where they just couldn't figure out what they wanted between you and that person. They didn't want to let go of that person. Possibly because it would have required them to change a whole lot about their life, but nevertheless, it's still like, no. It's like you had the foresight to, you had a glimpse of the future of what it would be like to be with this person, and you're like, and you wouldn't like it. It's again where you just feel like God's divine plan does not have anything to do with this person, at this point, because they're not genuine. They needed to take off their mask and be themselves, and they didn't really want to do that. So there's almost a sense of, I don't even know who you are. I don't know who you are. You pretended that you wanted to be with me, but you didn't really want to be with me because you never took the time to get to know me. Instead, you jerked me around a lot. You tried to keep me on the hook. You didn't want to give me an explanation, but you didn't want to let go of that person. So you just wanted to keep me stuck here. It wasn't fair what the position you put me in. You didn't want me to be able to go off and meet somebody else, but you didn't want to give me anything either because you would get too busy staying attached to somebody. And you knew if I knew that, I would have never stayed with you. So this is where you are, Gemini, where you're like, no, it can't be fixed, it can't be repaired. Yeah, this person would love to see if they could repair it. They're like, yeah, love has the power to rebuild trust. It's like, no, it doesn't, not in this case, because you're like, I still don't know who the fuck you are. It's like, because you never gave me the time, and you certainly don't know who I am. Because for you to treat me like this and then think that you can come back and maybe there's a chance, you don't know anything about me. It's like because you haven't put the time in, which tells me that you're more than okay with how you treated me. You just think, oh, I'm just going to say I'm sorry and come back, and not really. It's like, no. You would require them to get rid of that person completely. You would require a lot, and there's still a sense of, yeah, you might still get rid of them temporarily, but that person will never go because you have a history with them and you haven't cut the cord yet, and you haven't given me any time. So being that you haven't given me any time, I'm not going to be with you for a fling, for you to run back to that person because you needed a little break from them, because it's a toxic connection that you don't want to let go of. That's where you're at. And so we say, why did you attract this person? Suppression, well, inner child wounds. And this person tried to suppress you. They didn't want you to move on. They also wanted to make you feel bad, right? I mean, I'm going to sit here and feed somebody else, not give you a damn thing. And that's okay. Just kind of keep you on the hook, because I don't really know what I want, but I feel like I can come back whenever I want, even though it's suppressing you, it doesn't matter. It's again very selfish energy, which is what happens when you're connected to someone toxic. Because the person that they're connected to doesn't give a damn really about them at this point. Again, they hate them as much as they supposedly love them. But that love is more about control. It's more about dominance, to the point that they both pull in people from the outside, start connections, start relationships, only for them to get back together again. It's all built on drama and on like victimizing other people, belittled, again, trying to make you feel as if you're not worthy. Imagination, well, obviously, being brought up by someone that suppresses you by making you feel bad about yourself, belittling you, would traumatize you into yourself. And so you would have very strong imagination, intuitive abilities. It's a way that children disassociate. They can't run away from their parents. They're reliant on their parents. But being around somebody that emotionally abuses you by belittling you, well, you're going to go into that fight, flight, freeze. And the freeze is disassociation into your imagination and not getting any time or attention. This person didn't give you time and attention. They again suppressed you, and they also made you like feel not worthy about it and pushed you into your trauma. So actually brought you back to that original trauma where you found your gifts. So you had to actually go back to a very similar situation that originally traumatized you to actually find the positives that came from that traumatizing situation, because that's the paradox of life. Through everything bad, something good happens. So you might be like, well, so and so died. I don't think, well, it's not like, God forbid, if you lost a child, you're not gonna like feel like anything is gonna be able to replace that pain. However, we can channel that pain into purpose. And so we can find our gifts through our purpose, right? So if it wasn't for that horrible situation, well, you might not have ever found a cause or a purpose for life that helped you help other people, to connect you to other people. And that's usually where we utilize our gifts, right? It's through creating our life. Um, and so you gave yourself the time and attention, because this person pushed you back into that energy where, again, where your parent made you feel not good enough, not worthy. They didn't give you the time. They didn't give you the attention. They didn't nurture you. They didn't understand you because they didn't take the time and the attention. And so you had to reparent yourself, and you had to find the good within inside of yourself. And that's what this relationship really did, to help you release the rage and the pain. You know, there's only two energies, love and fear. However, when we have people around us that don't nurture us, that are supposed to nurture us, that are supposed to love us, well, we look at it as if, you know, they betrayed us. It creates a lot of pain. It creates a lot of hurt. And many times we view ourselves as less than, or that that person that was supposed to love us ruined us or did something to us that ruined an experience that we really wanted to have. So let's just say you really love this person and you wanted this person to love you back, but in them not loving you back shattered a reality that you wanted to come true, the reality that you had put all your time and your energy into. Well, the size of the hole, the wound, the pain is how much you gave to that person. You didn't give anything to that person. It's like they wanted you to play along. It's you didn't play along because it pushed you into a trauma from the past, from your childhood, and you said, I don't want to feel this way. And you put the energy into yourself. And when you do that, you are integrating that spiritual lesson. And then when you ground it, what you're doing is you're transmuting the pain into power through creation, right? You're making it from something negative to something positive. So you had to reparent yourself. And you did by giving yourself the time and attention and finding your gifts and utilizing those gifts through, again, your ideas, again, through your imagination, trying to put those pieces of the puzzle, if you will, like when you're manifesting through your imagination, like trying to ground them, trying to create something. And this is what is transmuting that rage. So this is why this person is almost in awe also, because you just walked away. and they expected you to act differently. Now, part of that is they never took the time to really get to know you, but also, understand their way is also, well, normally it works, and it didn't work with you. And now I feel like they're also looking at that karmic, and they're like kind of like comparing you to that karmic. And the thing is, they don't like really what that karmic looks like either, because they see the difference. Where before, I think that this person like got off on the whole like, oh, you chase, you fight for me, you always come back, you're dominant. Yeah, like our relationship is very complicated, but where now they're like, wow, you didn't make this connection complicated at all. You didn't like what I showed you. You walked away. You didn't fight. You didn't do anything. You disconnected. You're recreating your life. And now they're stuck. They're stuck with that karmic. And believe me, they have foresight of knowing already what that relationship would look like, because their relationship is not a good one. It's only good when they start bringing in other people and there's a lot of drama. It's like, and then they confuse that for passion for each other. Being that you were like, I'm not playing this game. Well, that dynamic wasn't created. So the only thing that is created is a crazy karmic that this person is seeing. Well, here it is, like you're creating your life, you're raising your vibration. You showed fierce strength. That's what this person knows. And again, you're taking bold action, which is also showing signs, the meaning like you don't care, you're not going to stay connected to this person. You're going into the unknown. You're going into the unknown because you already have the foresight to see that this person, like, they stayed with that karmic for a reason. They're also addicted to that crazy ass energy. And what you saw is, again, the foresight. You were like, I don't want that. You choose yourself. This story was all about learning to love yourself. And that's what this person showed you that you weren't loving yourself enough, that you weren't banking on yourself enough. They thought that you would fall prey to the illusion of what you wanted it to be instead of what it actually was. And you're like, no, most people fall for that. Most people can give this person so much time and energy that they don't actually see that they never have any intention of leaving whoever that karmic is. That's why that karmic is so confident. But again, the more that you didn't come to rescue this person and play out what they imagined, well, now there's just the karmic waiting for, again, and being that no one's doing anything, the karma is getting more and more and more paranoid, more and more and more controlling. I feel like this person now is looking at them like, who the hell am I connected to? Where they were always connected to someone manipulative, but because they pull in other people, the distraction is always on the other person. It's not on the games that these two play with each other. So now it's almost like, now you choosing to love yourself, you're pretty much like, you guys can kill each other. And we leave off with affirmation. I listen to myself and acknowledge my own needs. I assert myself and retain my power. I am brave and gentle. I don't have to be afraid of others. I respect myself and I am respected by others. And if this card is not enough to sum this story up, I don't know what isn't. Because what this is like, you were like, oh, you want to stay connected to somebody else. You want to stay stuck. Well, in you staying stuck, I am not choosing you. I release myself. I love myself because I already see exactly what you two do. The games, I would never feel safe in this connection. And even if you were ready to let this go, that karmic is not. Because again, they're still holding on, and you want to sit there and act like you don't know who they are, but you don't really close the door all the way. And you want to drag me into your BS, and you saw it and you were like, no, I choose myself. I love myself. I choose myself. I affirm that it's like I do what's best for me. I'd rather show fierce strength and move into the future by taking bold action. Because I already have the foresight to see that you are not genuine. You are not part of my divine plan. You wanted me to think that. So I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. You let me know how you resonated, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.